Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and what we're going to make today is some little clusters. Now, I do a lot of these in my journals and my mini albums, and I always have people say, I have no clue how to cluster, so could you do some clusters and show us? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to lay that one aside. I'll lay it right there so maybe you can see it. All I do is grab out a bunch of scraps, and here again, you do not have to use digital scraps. You can use any kind of scraps. Just make sure that they're going to match up with, that they're not going to be too bright, that they're going to kind of match different albums and things. Like this would be perfect to do one with because that's kind of a neutral color. Now, if you're doing really bright mini albums, then that's fine. You can go ahead and use your bright colors. I do some of all of them, and then that way when I'm doing a bright mini album I can use the brights. When I'm using neutral colors I can use the neutrals. So I just grab scraps and just start working with it. Now I like all of my edges torn. This may not be what you like, but that's what I like. So I tear all of my edges and then I ink them. I can't stand to tear them and not ink them. I know some people will tear them and leave that white showing and they don't ink. I don't like that. So I like to ink mine up. So it's like that. And then I love my vellum, so I usually grab a piece of vellum and I ink that. And if you don't have vellum that has writing already on it, just take some vellum and stamp it. You just need to use a permanent ink when you stamp your vellum. Now I kind of layer mine first, and then I look at it and see if that's what I want, and if not, then I go back and add some different things or pull something out. Just depends on what I'm looking for. And don't lay everything like you wouldn't lay everything down like this, because that's going to look really weird. It's going to look like you planned it that way. So when you're putting your second layers on, just put one down here and maybe one up here and turn them different ways. So let's see what else. And then I like to use a little piece of doily. Let's see if I have, that's green. Let's just see if I have a neutral one in here. I think I do. So pull out those scraps. This is another good way just to use them up. There's one right there. And I just tear a little piece of my doily, and then I'll put that on there in a kind of a different angle. And then what? Then we just look around and see what else we might want to put on here. Now I'm going to bring in, I've got some flowers printed from Tina. These are some neutral colors and then some brighter colors. These are little cigarette cards. Now I know people are going to ask me, what are cigarette cards? We never got these kinds of things over here. I think this may be a overseas type thing, but I'm assuming that they came in your cigarette packs. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. These may have been totally made up. Who knows? But I'm sure you can Google and it'll give you the information on those. Now on these, I usually just cut around them. I don't particularly tear them because they're pretty little and it becomes kind of hard to tear them, but I do ink them pretty well. And then I just kind of lay that down on there at an angle. But I think I want some lace underneath. So I just grab a piece of lace, cut that off, and lay that down. And then put my little cigarette card on there, and then I'll come back and do some different embellishing. So alright, I'm going to start gluing down because that's the way that I can tell if I'm getting anything halfway right or not. And I may change my mind when I start gluing and turn some things different ways, just like I did that. It's just up to you as to what you want it to look like. And it's good to kind of overlap an edge of it. So just kind of overlap different ones, different pieces. There we go. Now, if you want to sew these, you don't have to glue them all the way down. A lot of times I sew mine, but I'm not going to sew them for this video. But if you're not going to sew across these, then just make sure that you glue all of your little edges down. So then we're going to put that lace just like that. That side. And this is that old vintage lace. I love to include it in my albums. It's really, really old. And then I'll lay maybe that way. And that's the process so far. And then I'll put a little bit of bling on there. And if I don't like a little edge, what it looks like, I just tear it a little bit more. And then ink it up. I don't want it to look too square. So I don't like how that sticks up right there. So we'll tear that. And then ink that off, and then that looks better. You don't want a circle, you don't want a square, you just kind of want it odd shaped, where it looks like just pieces of paper fell down off of something and fell together. That's what you want that to look like. Alright, let's grab a little bit of bling. I just have a little container here that's got some different strips of bling in here. Now I think I'm going to put a piece of white on there. This is just white pearl. And I like to either run it down the side of my flower or run it across my lace, different places like that. And then if you have a little tiny butterfly, let's see if we do. I have a little tiny one over here somewhere. There's a little tiny one. It's looking, I mean, it's kind of sideways. It's hard to really tell what it is, but if I ink it up, I think it'll be better. And we'll put that down right there like it's coming to the flower. So that is another little cluster. See, they're quick and easy, and a lot of people just put a little bit of glue right in the center and then just go around it in a circle or halfway circle and sew it. And then some people staple, just staple them together. I don't like staples in mine, so I'd rather do them like this. But there again, that's up to you which way you want to do that. Alright, let's start with this piece right here. Just find a base piece, that's what you need. Just something to start with, and then you just start layering different things on top. Let's see. I think I might actually use a little piece of this bag right here. This is just one of those old paper bags that everybody used to have a while ago. I think this is my last one. I've used them very sparingly over the years. So let's see what that'll look like on there. Well, it'll be okay. Then we'll come back and we'll put a little piece of doily on there. Like that. And then let's grab a little piece of book page. And we'll kind of come across it with the book page like that maybe. And let's see what else we want to put on there. I think for this one I may use this little sepia flower. And I don't think I'll even trim it off. I think I'll just put it up that way. No, I may trim the edges down just a little bit. so it doesn't have that white edge around it. Like that. And then I am going to ink this as I trimmed it. And then we're going to grab another piece of lace. And there's a little scrap piece right there that'll be fine. Put that where it's just peeking out from that. And then let's see what we got. These are some of the Tim Holtz little snippets. I think I'll just put that little brown butterfly right there, but I'm going to ink the edges up. Or you need to, on these, ink the edges up or trim them. I usually trim them off, but on this I'm just going to ink because it has those white edges. And I don't particularly like those white edges, so. Okay, we're going to start gluing down. So I'm going to put glue right here. Then we'll put, I'll just pick it up in the layers like I laid it down there, and that way it's a little bit easier for me to remember how it goes. So we need our doily down next. And then our book page. And see, you wouldn't lay that like that. You're either going to need to lay it taller that way or taller that way. And I want that purple to show on the bottom. So I'm going to lay my book page like that. So that purple's still going to show. And then my little flower here, I'm going to lay just, let's see if I want it that way or that way. I think I want it this way. And then I'm going to tuck that little piece of lace up under there. Like that. Press that down. And every one comes out different. You're not going to make two that looks the same, believe me. Well, I can't anyway. You may can. Even if I try to use the same pieces, they still look different. And then I'm just going to put this little butterfly right down here at the bottom. And like that right there. And then I'm going to put a few little pieces of bling on that little butterfly. I just think that makes his body stand out a little bit better. There we go. Now I don't like how that is sticking out a little bit too far, so I'm going to pull the edge off of that. And I think everything else I like. So there's another little cluster. And you just keep going. These are just quick and easy. Let's see. Let's start off this time with, let's start off this time with a book page. A piece of book page. So we'll just pull this one out. Oh, this one's got a person on there. Well, he'll be on the back, so. Alright, I ink around my book page. Make sure I don't see any ugly words anywhere. And then I'm going to come in with just a piece of our coffee dyed paper. Just a smaller piece. Let's see. Oh, I think that's a little bit too little. Let's try that again. That'll work better. Okay, I'm gonna lay that like this at a little bit of an angle. Then we will, let's see what else we got on this here. I'm going to go back to my vellum, pull a piece of that. Try to lay that vellum that way. Yeah, that'll look good. Then what do we have? I like this little piece from Tim Holtz. That looks good. And I'm not going to tear around it because it looks very vintage the way it is. I'm just going to ink it. And then we'll lay that like that. I do want to put some lace under there. So let's see what we have over here. So this is some new lace that I just got in from Cindy at Cindy's Vintage Cafe. This is a really pretty lace. And her link is always below. So I'm just going to put that way, and then that'll go like that. And then let's see if we have just something with a little bit of color that we can tuck into the edge of that. What about this postage stamp right there? Put him right there. And let's grab a label. I want a label on here. So these are our labels. And I will link all of my digitals below. I don't have very many, but I do like my labels, so I have those. And they have other things in the kit as well. This just says Memories, and it's in a really pretty font. And let's see, that over there, that there. We'll just put that across like that, I think. This is going to be another cluster. So we will start by gluing the first layer down. And then our vellum. And see, I'm doing just backwards from how I had it laid down, but that's fine. You don't have to worry about that. Just put it down the way that you want to. Still gonna look pretty. Cindy, I may have to buy the rest of this. This is pretty. It's cotton too. I like that. Okay. Put that like that. And then we'll put this little postage stamp down here at the bottom. It's going to bring in just a touch of color. And then, where do we want this? Oh, I like it. See, I don't know. I like it there too. Let's put it at the top. Ugh, can't pick it up. There we go. There is another. And then I'm just going to put a little piece of bling right here on that lace. And I got that idea from Tina. Hey Tina, if you're watching, it's Shabby Dabby Doodah. She puts a little piece of bling right on her lace and it looks so cute. I think she does a very good job. There we go. So that is another cluster. It's ready to go. Alright, let's make a cluster using some regular scrapbook paper, and I'll show you how it turns out just as good. Just as pretty. So what shall we start off with? I want to get kind of a big piece, so let's just start off with this one. This one's a little bit big. We don't need anything really tiny at the back. And this is just single-sided paper, but it doesn't have to be. It can be double-sided, whatever. Just use up your scraps. Okay, now let's ink this up. I like for that paper to look like it's been burnt a little bit. Alright, we'll probably lay this at an angle like that. And then I'll come back with another green on top. And I'll just take a portion of this one. These are cute in mini albums, junk journals, regular journals, scrapbook pages. They're good in anything. And I like to make them ahead of time, and then I can just grab them and put them in my albums, and I don't have to stop out and make one while I'm working on my mini album or my journal. Alright, we'll lay that one that way. Let's just bring in a little piece of this vellum that I had left scrap over there. Put that across there. And let's see what else we have. I'm going to put just a little piece of book page right there. Put that like that. That'll kind of balance out that color. You don't want it so bold in your face with the color. So that balances that out a little bit. And then I think I will put a little cigarette card on here. Let's see. Let's try that way. I like that, but I don't like how this is torn down here. It's not jagged enough. It looks too planned. So we're going to kind of just take some corners off of that. Alright, so then let's put a little piece of lace under that. Okay, I think that'll turn out pretty cute, so let's start gluing down. Well, we've already glued that down, but let's start gluing the other pieces now. Let's see, I want that about right there. Then I want to put our lace kind of like that. And then our little piece of vellum's going to go at the edge like that of that little card. And I'm going to trim this little card down. Get that white from around the edge. I think people must have collected these back in the day. If anybody knows anything about cigarette cards, leave it in the comments below, because this says Willie Cigarettes, Lady Perry, I think, Perry. And each one of them has a different name. Because I have no clue. Like I said, this was never done over here that I know of in my time anyway. Alright, I think we'll put that right there. So I'm going to glue that little piece down. There we go. All right. And then I just kind of look at it, and if it looks like something is too off somewhere, then I either add something else to that or just tear it off. I think on this one, since I've got a little room right there, I'm going to put a number. And these are Tina's numbers as well. I guess I'll just keep her link below all of my videos because I use a lot of her products. And no use in removing it. Okay, let's put that right there. And then, is that all? Okay, I'm going to use another few little pieces from Tim Holtz. This is from the Snippets, I do believe. And that's just a little circle, and it says enclosure. And then this just says special delivery. Put that there. So that just needed something over there, I think. And then, let's see, what will we use? Let's use some black. Need to pull that black in. We just have a little bit of black on there. I can't remember where I got these little rhinestone string pieces, but I need some more. So if anybody knows where these come from, I'll show you in just a second. Let me know in the comments below because I need to get more, and I have completely forgotten where I got these. It's been so many years ago. I think they come in a roll because I have them on this card. See, it's that. And that's all that I have left, so I need more. I just can't remember where I ordered them from. Okay, so there is that one. And that one is made, that one's a little bit busier, but it is made from pattern paper. Okay, let's do one, and let's just use this bag as the back piece. Part of the bag anyway. Tear that little piece off. And I'm going to leave that top like it is, the little jagged top. Alrighty. And I think, even though that's brown, I'm going to come back in with some of this coral on top of it. Let's see, that's a little bit big. Okay, that will work. Like that. My hands are so sticky. And then I have this piece just laying there looking at me, so we'll use it. Just a scrap piece. That right there. And let's grab a little piece of doily. I'm going to use a little piece of this. This is just a shrunk up piece of dictionary. And then I think on this one, I'll just put this little T card. And let's see, the T card. Where did I get it? I think it is the Shabby Dabby Doodah as well. I do believe. So we'll put that like that. And then we can even include something else over here on this side. That looks pretty cute. We may just include 2 of those, or I can go back and grab a butterfly. Let's see. Let's take that out and use the butterfly and see what we get. Let's try a different color. Not crazy about the orange. Okay, that one blends in too much. The blue stands out a little bit much. So, what do we say? Nope, those are too big. I don't know, let's go back with the blue, I think. I'm not seeing anything over here in my stack. And I want something that's already cut, so I don't have to cut it right now. But I'm kind of leaning back toward that. I kind of like that in there. And then I may just find a tiny little butterfly to go in there. Let's see. Or we could put just a little number, 5-4. That's cute. I like that cluster. So let's do that. Let's put that down. Don't overthink it. Just start gluing. Now I go back and put more glue on these, but right now I'm just gluing quick. But I'll go back, before I even use them, I'll go back and add more glue, and I may even add more little snippets and pieces to it. You never know. It just depends on kind of what look I'm looking for. How many times can I say look? All right. Put that right there. And then I think I may put a little piece, let's just use this last little piece of lace right there, and I'll pick that up and kind of tuck it in, and we'll just have that lace kind of peeking out right there. That'll work. And then I think down here we'll just put this that says 5-4. And some of these you can tell I am inking and some I'm not. I'm just, if I was just sitting here making them and not doing a video, I'd be inking everything. But sometimes when I do a video, I just try to go a little bit quicker. So I can always go back and touch them up if I need to. I started to put glue on that before I even pulled it off. That would have not been right, would it? There we go. Oops. So then a little piece of bling. And I'm going to put it right there, I think. And then I'm just going to tear these edges because I don't like they look a little bit too planned. Let's see what that looks like. That looks pretty good. So there is another cluster, and that's just using a paper bag and then just kind of building from there. So that is just some different ways that you can make clusters, and you can make them as large or as small as you want. If you look, some of mine are larger, some of them are smaller. Some of them are made with book pages, some of them are made with scrapbook paper. That's a smaller one. And it takes no time just to throw a lot of these together and make your clusters up and have them ready to go when you start adding to your journals. Alright guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell if you want to be notified when we put up new videos. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.